Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today, beautiful day in mid-March here in Southwest Florida. Orchids are going crazy. I can't put them all on the table, but I want to highlight a few for you today. And after we take a look at these, we'll take a look a little bit around some of the other orchids in my collection. Lots of things going on, lots of buds coming out, lots of things flowering. I'm pollinating, so yay, bunch of stuff going on, and I want to share that with you today. The first thing I want to show you, and I've showed you this previously, but things have progressed, things have changed a little bit. So in the front here is a Cattleya pumila, and I've shared this with you I think a couple of times previously, but this I want you to look at it today just at this level because it's almost in full bloom. This is a Cattleya pumila that I grew from seed. It's been, I think, a little over 4 years since I think it's deflasked these plants, or this plant. So I think it's it's doing really well. It's bloomed a few times previously, but now it's got 4 bloom spikes on it. 3 of them are open. So each of the 3 bloom spikes here has 3 flowers that are open. The flowers I'm not crazy about, but there's a good distribution of flowers. They're growing out. The plants spread out really nicely. And there is a 4th bloom spike over here that the flowers will probably be open within a few days to a week. So this has just been a very productive plant. Seems to be doing really well, growing over the side of the pot. I probably have to put it in a bigger pot, but I like this because it's a kind of a short plant, and it has a lot of small flowers on it, and it grows out nicely. Okay, let's move on to a couple of other ones, and let's move on to this one. So this is Ports of Paradise Emerald Isle, and this is the favorite. It's an old hybrid. This is the favorite of a lot of people. So it's one that the person across the street just loves. She bought one a few years ago, and it didn't make it. I have had this plant, but it was actually the original plant, and I think I got 3 other plants in addition to that, and that I divided from the one big plant, and this is the first one from those divisions that have bloomed. The other plants are bigger, but this one bloomed, and it's got just a huge flower, one single flower on one spike. The fragrance, this is one of the nice things about it, the fragrance, I think I can describe it as kind of a spicy citrus scent, and it's really nice. I like how the lip has a lot of fringing to it, and it's just a really nice plant. It opened up maybe a couple of days ago. Plant's doing well. Again, all of the other divisions of the plant are doing very well, and this is the first one to bloom. Just again, the one bloom on it now. Nothing coming up in any of the other blooms here, and this is the newest pseudobulb right here that has the flower on it. So this is Ports of Paradise. The cultivar is Emerald Isle. Moving on to this one right here. This one is this is going nuts. I picked this up, I think probably around 3 years ago. It blooms. It's been blooming for me a lot. The blooms are just spectacular, as you can tell. So there's flaring both in the petals and in the sepals, and it's really striking. The flowers are big and spread apart pretty wide. The fragrance on this flower is just incredible. What you get on this is a combination of, and I'm sorry if this is a little bizarre to you, but it just smells so great. It's like rose, vanilla, little citrus, and this sweet cattleya all rolled into one. So this is amazing Thailand rainbow. Right now it has the two flowers that are open on the one spike, but there's also two flowers that are pretty deeply buried in one of the newer pseudobulbs that are coming out. It's probably going to be about another month, maybe 3 weeks, until those other two flowers open. So this I get a lot of, it blooms multiple times a year. Big, vigorous growing plant. It's in a 6-inch pot. It's a strong grower. Never had to deal with, you know, some of my other plants. I deal with fungus issues. I deal with all kinds of different things. This one just does really well. And one of the other things that I can show you is I got to see when this happened. So 3 months ago, when this was blooming right here, I pollinated it. So I still have a flower. I still have a capsule that's forming on this plant from a bloom that came out 3 months ago, and in the meantime it continues to grow and flower, new flowers here, new flowers coming out here. So this is just a great plant. Everyone should have this in their collection. I don't see anything wrong with this plant. And you say, well, okay, what did I cross it with so that I'm trying to improve it? Well, I could use, if I had to really wish hard, maybe for a little bit more yellow in the in the throat of this flower to make it even more striking, if you can imagine that. But just lots of different colors, really amazing orchid. And this comes from a breeder in Thailand, and I actually crossed it onto another orchid that comes from, I think it might be the same breeder in Thailand. So I'm going to see what happens with this. I'm excited about the plant. I'm excited about getting progeny of the plant, and look at the flowers on this, just incredible. Okay, what I want to do now, as you can tell, I'm pretty excited. What I want to do now is get behind the camera. I don't know if you can see it behind me, Mahina Yahiro Mishima, that is just about, you know, it's still got some flowers that could open, but this thing is just loaded. And I can't really share it to you very well on the table here. I've got some other ones that we'll take a quick look around and see what is, you know, see what's going on and see what's flowering. I've got one thing I want to show you. That was Mackeys Flare that I've shared with you previously, a really beautiful, fragrant, large flared cattleya that I was bad and I made a cross on it, and I want to show you how quickly the flower faded on that one pollination that I made, after the one pollination that I made. So it's really striking how fast the flower fades, and it's a shame what I did to that flower, but you know, I'm all about the future and making more beautiful orchids and going forward from there. Okay, so let me get behind the camera and we'll kind of take a look at some of the orchids and the flowers that I'm seeing, and the buds that are coming out on some of the orchids in my collection. Okay, and we're back. So I wanted to start out here. This is a not too many blooms coming out, but this, I don't know if you can tell, it's vanilla orchid growing up my palm tree. So, and you got to catch these when you do, if you want the capsules, which is the whole idea here. You got to pollinate the flowers first thing in the morning, and they only open for 1 day. So these are getting a little bit close, and there's only 3 of them. In the past, I've had, you know, 5, 6 or more on a single spike here, so I got to pay attention to this and catch it when catch the flowers when they're open. Okay, so let's get moving. Let's start taking a look at some of the other ones. These are Phalaenopsis on this driftwood orchid tree, and so these are blooming. We've got these, look at all the buds on that spike. These are blooming. This one, again, these these are phals, so they are not my favorite by any means, but this one opened just today, so at least there's something nice in this flower. You got some spotting here, and then this is the final one. And I should say these things have 2 spikes on them each, so they're pretty easy to grow, and they do well, and they're just mounted in these conch shells that are then screwed to this piece of driftwood that is in a concrete base. I should also say that I contacted a colleague who breeds phals, and he said he would send me seed, because none of these are known. They're not named, they're not known. These are probably, you know, big box store phals, and I want to get some of them that are known that I can watch over and take care of. Okay, so another phal right here that I don't know if you can see well, but it's got blooms coming out. I'm still excited that I've got my den right here. This is my den that I got in Chiang Mai, Thailand, that I don't know what it is. Got it a few years ago, almost died, I brought it back. You can't really tell. There's a phal right back there. I just throw them in behind the shed in these pots, and you know, they just grow and put out their spikes. Anyway, this is some of the mounts that I have that are, again, behind the shed in a nice shady place, and we'll see how these do. All right, moving on a little bit. What's over here? This is, and I've shared this with you before, not a good angle, Odom's Grand Delight, but what I want to show you is that there's another, right here, there's another sheath that has a flower spike in it, and then right here, you can see that there's flowers coming out on that. There's lots of flowers coming out on that plant. Moving over here, again, everything's in spike. So that's an Encyclia cordigera that has 2 big spikes coming out on it. This is an Oncidium spacillatum that has a big spike coming out on this, and I'm excited about this. I just saw this today. Let's see if I can find it. But down in here, I think is my first spike coming out on this, which is a big plant that I've had for years. Maybe it needs a little bit more sun, but this big plant hasn't bloomed for me yet. And then this guy, of course, is loaded. The final blooms on this plant, it looks like they're right here, and I think they're going to probably be open. Well, they're starting to open right now. I am a little disappointed in some of these. I know they're beautiful flowers, but I am a little bit disappointed that my orchid show, my local orchid show, is 2 weeks away, or actually 2.5 weeks away, and these things are not. They're going to be past peak for my show, and I got a few that'll be okay, but I don't know. Anyway, this is, and I've showed you this before, this is Oprah Winfrey right here, and this is where Oprah Winfrey lives. So behind my Duranta, again, dappled light, seems to like it back there, seems to be doing pretty nice. So moving on here, let me move over to here. I just want to show you this because it's kind of fun. But these are some seed capsules that I have on my Encyclia Tiampensis that kind of bloomed off cycle a little bit. And my Encyclia is right here, and this is blowing out of its pot. So there's an Encyclia, and you can see how it's just mounded up. I probably should divide this. It's doing so well, you hate to do anything to it, but I'm sure it needs some attention, and I got to move it a little bit. All right, this is Mahina Yahiro Mishima right here, and this is just you know, this is a situation where there are so many flowers, they're just kind of crowding each other out. So in this group right here, there are 3 flowers on one spike, 2 on another. You move over here, these are 2 flowers that are a little bit too crowded. Back here, it's 2 more flowers crowded. Back here, there's 1 flower that is almost open, and then another flower to the right that's starting to open. Back here, you've got 2 more that are open. Another bloom spike there that has that's probably going to be a few weeks before that opens. But this plant is just loaded, and I actually tried spreading the flowers apart a little bit, and I can't do it. You got to train them early to spread and look nice. Otherwise, they're going to crack off. But there's a lot of flowers open and a lot more coming on this plant. I do have to show you this right here. This is one that is, I keep on thinking, well, okay, these are going to be, you know, ready to go for my meeting, but this is Hawaiian Prominence America. I could just smell Mahina Yahira from here. Just unbelievable. And I'm about 6 feet away from it, but that's the smell. I recognize it. Anyway, this is Hawaiian Prominence America. This I'm excited about because this is my first bloom coming out on this plant. So we'll see how this goes. I've got, and this is a plant that I got from Carmela, and I was disappointed because it was supposed to be a big plant, and when I repotted it, there were 3 seedlings that were put together in a pot and sold as a big plant. But you know, it's doing well. I lost one of them. I still have one, so I got two plants where I just paid for one, but they're a little smaller than what I was hoping for. Anyway, but I'm excited about this Hawaiian Prominence America that I've used. I used a colleague's plant in a cross that I did previously. Okay, let's keep on moving. And this is going to be, probably it's going to peak at the right time, but this is a plant that was gifted to me, and this is Fire Dance. And this is probably, I got a bloom spike here coming out, and then I got a bloom spike on that coming out. So I'm not really sure how this is going to look. My first bloom, the plant doesn't look great, but it's because it's a new plant for me and it's getting used to its environment. And I do have to show you, so I showed you Ports of Paradise, Emerald Isle, and there's a Ports of Paradise here. There's another one here. There's a Momani Rainbow there. Another Momani Rainbow in bloom there with a seed capsule on it. So yay, things are doing really well, and it's exciting. I do need to get rid of some of the plants that I have duplicates of so that I can take another look at Mahina Yahira. That, just so you know, I can still smell it, and I'm now probably over 6 feet away, but I am downwind. But still, yikes. That's incredible. Okay, moving on then. Let's go over here. There's just a few more plants, but I seem to be taking my time with this. So here's another Momani Rainbow. Oh, I lost it for a second. So this Momani Rainbow, this was actually mounted in in the date palm tree in my front yard, and we had a wind come up and it got knocked down. And so there's some of them got in, and I put it in this new this new basket that I'm real happy with from Vina Planters, and much more secure, doing well, and but in the meantime, that might have gotten some damage from getting knocked out of the tree. New flowers coming out right there, probably be open in a day or two. Again, I wish it would hold off a little bit, right there, and bloom in a couple of weeks for my next show. Over here, I just got some over here. I wanted to share with you some Oncidium. So I don't know if you can see it. There's a spike there going across your screen, and there's a spike, I think it's right there, coming up the middle of your screen. So this is that's Sherry Baby, And so it's probably going to be another month, 6 weeks before that's open. And then I've got another Oncidium right here that is in spike as we follow this guy up. That is, it's a big spike. It's probably going to be, I would think, another 2 weeks before we see blooms on that. Okay, let's move on. I want to take a look at some of the plants in the pergola, and this is where, some of these guys live. So this is where my Pumila, my Cattleya Pumila lives. This is a really nice plant that these flowers just opened today or yesterday. So this is Birana, Beauty Birana. So those flowers opened today. They're a little bit kind of greener than the older flowers. So as we walk over here, these are a little more yellow, these flowers, and then go over here. And these are older flowers here, and then finally over here. So this is loaded with flowers on this Birana, Beauty Birana. But look at all the blooms on this plant. So really nice. And just so you know, my amazing Thailand is up there, and that's where she lives. Some of the other things, just so you know, is all the tags that you can see wobbling around there. This is Love Blushes right here, and I made a bunch of crosses. I was at the tail end of these blooms. I probably waited too long, but I made a bunch of crosses on Love Blushes, which is right there. There is, back behind Love Blushes that's, I think, Dick Smith, some blooms there, and then some more blooms over to the right that are kind of out of view of what we can see. All right, so there's only a few other plants I want to look at right here, and let me see if I can find them. Oh yeah. Okay, so up here might be kind of hard to see. So this is one. As we follow this pot up here, you can see the blooms that are right now in the middle. This is my first bloom of that are coming out on, where'd it go? I think it's right there. Of candy corn, I think is, I'll look it up to make sure of what this one's called. But small flowers, little flaring, all yellow, but it's my first bloom, so I'm pretty excited about this plant, and that'll probably be peaked at about the right time. This is going to be hard to get to, but right back here is a Catasetum, and it's a Catasetum that is just so vigorous. It's incredible. Now is not the time that these guys should be blooming, but this is one of Fred Clark's hybrids, and this is Graham Wood. And I thought this would hold off for another week, but it's going to be open tomorrow or the next day. Really nice spotting on this, and I'll get some as this thing opens. All right, the last thing that I want to show you, there's some more, but the last thing I want to show you, so this is something that has bloomed for me. So this is Mackeys Flare. Bloomed pretty recently. I featured it in one of my videos, but what I wanted to show you is something sad that I did with it because I really liked this flower, and I'm going to spin the plant around so you can see what I did. And so this is a bloom right here, and then the neighboring bloom on that flower is right here. So what I did on this bloom is, and this is why it faded. So if we go to the nice bloom right here, and then the neighboring bloom, I crossed this, and I felt the need to do this, and I destroyed the flower, and I feel bad, but I'm also happy because this is an indication of a successful cross. So yay, and I think this'll do well, and I'm happy I made the cross. But I did look at the plant. It's sad when you have those nice flowers and then you have a flower that looks like that. But I don't know. I don't think it'll be. I'm not sure if it'll still be ready to take into a show in a little while. All right, so I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of some of the blooms that are on the orchids in my collection, just to kind of share some of these with you, let you see where they live, and just share with you how this is really, how I'm just so pleased that they look so good and I'm getting so many flowers. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.